Hey y'all, I'm back with the Hip Kit Club process video, and this time I'm going to be sharing how I created a mini album using the April 2016 kits. The theme of this week is gift giving or gift wrapping, so I thought it'd be really fun to create a super simple and quick mini album as a handmade gift for my mom for Mother's Day. So I know that's coming up, so I think that this would be a great idea for some of you. And if you don't have tag dies, it's a pretty simple shape, so you could essentially cut them, cut rectangles and then cut the corners off and then punch a hole. And then just if you don't have reinforcers, you can buy some of those like just pre-made reinforcers from the office supply store. But basically I went ahead and cut my tags and I've printed my photos, and I think all in all, printing photos, cutting the tag, die cutting the tags, and embellishing and putting the album together, I think it took about an hour and a half. So I'm starting by just kind of layering my photos using my hot glue gun so that this thing does not come apart. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the base of my album first. I haven't put it together obviously yet because I would like to place the photos and embellish before I put them on a ring. And you'll see, I don't think you'll see me put them on the ring, but I'm going to show you the full thing at the very end, and you'll get to see how it all came together. But you're going to see the process of me embellishing and things like that. So just keep watching. So I am just, like I said, adding photos and maybe little pieces of paper here and there. And then I'm going to do that on every single page. I'm going to try it. I think I almost got it exact as far as putting, and I didn't count, but putting photos on the front and the back of these tags. Like, I'm sorry, when I printed the photos, I didn't really count. But whenever it got towards the end, I like only had a couple photos left, I think. So I think I almost got it exact, and I think I even missed one at the very beginning, but that's okay. And I do add some little filler tags, and that's something fun that you guys can do too, and you'll see kind of at the end, not how I did that, but you'll see where I added those tags, and I'll point that out. So I am also adding some of my own reinforcers, and if you're wondering what tag dies I'm using, I don't think, I know these are the Tim Holtz tag dies, and I think I ordered them from Amazon, and they come in like a ton of different sizes, and then they also come with a little die cut reinforcer, so that's why you see all these different colors of the reinforcers. I'm using papers from our kits and our cardstock add-on. Several of the papers, like the one that I just used, was the Better Together paper. This is a Pink Fresh paper that I'm cutting up right here, and I love those hearts. And I also used some white cardstock too. I used the exclusive paper by Kim Watson, which is the blue stripe paper, and I'll point that out here in a second. I used that on my last layout. And then I'm using LA Studio paper and the Maggie Holmes Bloom paper where you see the butterflies. It's like kind of underneath on the left side there. And then I'm using some of the color cardstock. This little star paper, which I am in love with, is by Kim Watson as well. That's an exclusive in the Hip Kits. So, like I said, I'm just getting kind of the base, and I'm not really putting, I think one thing I really loved about this is I did not put a lot of thought into the decorating. I think that sounds bad. I'm giving it as a gift, but that's not I mean it as if like I kind of just had fun creating it, and I didn't put a lot of thought into like what I was doing like I would on a layout. And so I think that's why I had a lot of fun. I used my scissors, I didn't use my trimmer, and then here's where I'll start embellishing. And this is the best part. So I'm using these Pink Fresh stickers to spell out her name, and then I'm going to add a heart, a wood veneer heart here in a second. But I just love those. I wish those came in every color. I think they go on perfectly. They stick great. They are not, you don't have to fiddle with them too much. So I just really love those alphas. And then here I'm going to add one of those Pink Fresh acetate pieces that says Go See Do, and I just added that with my stapler, and I don't mind that it's going to show on the other side, the staple, so that's not a big deal. It is a handmade mini album after all. And then I'm going to add some of those Pink Fresh washi strips that have little quotes on them, and I like tear up this wood veneer sheet. Like I don't think I have very many of those wood veneers left because I use quite a bit on this, and I had to be really careful because I was just going crazy using all this stuff. And one thing I love about the Hip Kits is I still have a ton of stuff left, but I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to use everything up. But then I realized after I was done that I still had quite a bit left, but I was going a little crazy adding a bunch of stuff to these pages. So it's really easy to do that when you're creating a mini album, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to use up like your scraps at the end of, like, when you get your kits and you've used them for layouts. It's a great way to use up what you have left, because you're adding different things on different pages, and so it doesn't have to like perfectly match, which is another reason why I love that, is because I used like paper, like every single paper probably from this, from what we got in our kits. So I don't know that you could like necessarily do that on a layout. I guess you could, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm pulling some different stickers from this Chamel sticker sheet, and I also used another washi strip from that Pink Fresh, I think, sticker sheet. And then I added a couple of enamel dots, and then I added a wood veneer again. And then I'm decorating this picture. Oh, it says, oh, I'm going to put these alphas on here because it's a picture of my daughter laying on the ground. She's just like waving and smiling real big. And so I thought it'd be cute to add like the kind of the little saying, oh, hi. So she's on the ground there. And then I'm just going to add a little, I think it's one of those little rubber, they're not sticker, well, I guess they kind of are stickers, but I added, I think, a little bit of adhesive on the back. And those were from Pink Fresh. So yeah, I think I was just telling you guys that the picture of her, I thought that would be funny to add a little saying there. And then on the back here, I'm just going to put Sweet Girl, because I wanted, oh, this tag was blank, and so I wanted to add a little something there on the back, so I thought it'd be a good time to add something there. And I love those wood grain alphas by, I think it's Pretty Little Studio. And now I'm cutting up these exclusive cut aparts by Kim Watson and adding those on that tag. And then I'm going to add, I think here I'm looking for some things, some different embellishments for this page. And I decide to add this little piece that says capture, and I just added some vellum adhesive there on the back because I didn't want to use my stapler on this one. I don't know why, I just decided not to. And then I included a vellum tag in here, and I also cut that with my die cuts. And I just added, all I did was add a piece of acetate right on top, and I'm not going to do anything to the back, which I think turns out fine. I guess I forgot to mention, if you go to an office supply store or like any craft store, you can buy pre-made tags, and they're pretty cheap. And if you go on a, like, okay, so for instance, sometimes they have like they're 50% off their own brand or whatever, and if you get you get them on a day like that, you can get them pretty cheap, and then you can create your own album using the papers and stuff from the kit, but you don't have to necessarily like take the time to die cut tags, or you can use your silhouette to die cut tags out of the papers. But I think that's what kind of made this whole album neat, is that I was able to use the papers, and they're all different. But if you wanted like a cleaner, simple look, you could use white tags, and then you could decorate with the embellishments. I added some washi on that, and I really like the way that turned out. And I think if I would have been thinking a little bit before, I would have added some washi under the photos as a little bit, like to add a little bit more interest. But I didn't think that far in advance. So I'm looking at the Chamel sticker sheet, and I really love those stickers. They are clear stickers, and so they go on really nicely, and they're really fun to like place. And I think Irit has done this. Yeah, I think she has. She has done it where she's or maybe she's done it with rub-ons. But you can do the same thing where with rub-ons, she placed them on like white cardstock, and then she die cut them with like punches or with die cuts. And then you could do that with these stickers too if you wanted them as kind of like an added embellishment and not so much of a sticker, because they are super sticky. So when you place them, they're like stuck, and then you could die cut them out. I think that would be kind of neat. I'm going to add a piece of flare on. I think that those are also exclusive. I added that to one of the pages. And these can be pretty bulky, and I just used like a standard ring that I got at Michael's or something like that. Just a small little like mini album ring, and that worked pretty well. I'm going to add this mink frame it's not minked, but I liked it black and white. So I left it black and white, and then I am just going to add a couple little things there, and then I'm going to put it all together, and you guys are going to see the final result here coming up. Okay, so here is the final product, and I'm just going to quickly go through this and you guys can see. So I did add some little filler cards. Those are the little mini tags right there that I just very, very simply embellished. Some of them I'll just leave blank, and maybe I'll add a little bit of journaling here and there. And then some of them I will add a little embellishment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and here comes some final photos coming up, and let me know if there are any questions or if there's anything you guys would like to know about the Hip Kit Club. So definitely check those out, or check out the kits, and I will see you guys soon.